everyone. Let's continue with the chapter Resource and Development. Welcome everyone to the lecture 2. I am Sonal Bhatt and now let's continue for the resource planning. Now, we all should know that the planning is widely accepted strategy for the judicious use of resources. Now, what do you mean by judicious use? It means a proper usage, how to use the resources with a proper strategy, right? Now, it is important in the country like India, where it is very diverse, the lands are diverse, which has enormous diversity in the availability of resources. अलग-अलग जगहों पे अलग-अलग resources मिलते हैं. As we all know, India is rich in resources, correct? Now, there are regions which are rich in certain types of resources. Obviously, it is going to be depending on the climate, on the land which is available, right? And some regions will not have those resources. Now, there are regions which are self-sufficient in terms of the availability of resources. And there are some regions which are acute, which have acute shortage. What do you mean by acute shortage? नहीं मिलता है वहाँ पे, ठीक है? Now tell me one thing, children. There are regions in India which are rich in coal deposits and minerals. And which are those states? We have Madhya Pradesh, we have Chhattisgarh, and we have Jharkhand. Now, all these states are rich in minerals and coal deposits. We have Arunachal Pradesh here in the East India, which has got abundance of water resources. Obviously, we have the Himalayan rivers flowing there, right? So, we have got abundance of water resources. Now, the resources of water is in abundance, but this state Arunachal Pradesh, where it is, it's here. So, it is lacking the infrastructural development. Now, what do you mean by infrastructural development? It is basically nothing but it is the man-made structures. This all is the infrastructure, all the technologies which come together. So, the highways, the high-top buildings and all those things which needs for the different kind of a development is lacking there. Alright. Now, if you come to the state of Rajasthan here, now as you remember that it has got a lot of westerly winds. So, in the last lecture also we had seen that Rajasthan needs and has lot of solar energy there, correct? But again, it lacks water. Here we don't have water and here we have a lot of water. So, all this is nothing but it is depending upon how the land and the rivers are divided. Now, the coldest region of Ladakh, we all know Ladakh is here, high in near our Kashmir, correct, in the northern India. Now, it's a very cold place and it is isolated from the country because of its altitude. So, it has a lot of cultural heritage. Now, culture depends from region to region. The culture which is there here in Rajasthan is different from Madhya Pradesh, the Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh. Correct, we all have different cultures and India is very famous for our rich cultural heritage. So, here Ladakh is very high in your cultural heritage. But it is again deficient in water, right? Again there is a problem of infrastructure and some vital minerals. Now, infrastructure obviously we all know it is on a very high altitude. So, it is difficult to develop the infrastructure there. And minerals again depending on the availability. Now, because of this diversity, like at one place the water is more, in another place there is no water, but then there is a solar power which is available, another is at a higher altitude. Similarly, everywhere in India, we have got different kind of resources available. This will help us to understand and plan the resources in a balanced way. कहाँ से क्या लेना चाहिए, कहाँ से क्या मिल सकता है और किस तरीके से हम उस चीज को प्लान करेंगे, it calls for that need, right? Now, let us understand that this planning cannot be done like this, correct? It cannot be done in a minute. It is a very complex process which involves certain stages and criteria which needs to be considered. And what are those? The first one is to identify and check out the inventory of resources across the region. India एक बहुत बड़ा देश है, करेक्ट? हमको ये देखना है कि कहाँ पे क्या अच्छा है और कहाँ पे क्या ज़्यादा मिलता है, उसको पहले पहचानना ज़रूरी है, राइट, और उसको रिकॉर्ड करना जरूरी है, आइडेंटिफिकेशन एंड इन्वेंटरी, गॉट इट। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, ये करने के लिए हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा, वी विल हैव टू डू द सर्वे, वी विल हैव टू डू द मैपिंग एंड द क्वालिटेटिव एंड द क्वांटिटेटिव एस्टिमेशन। देखना पड़ेगा ना कितना क्या कैसे मिलेगा, इज इट ओके फॉर अस टू एक्सट्रैक्ट द थिंग्स फ्रॉम देयर, will it affect the local people out there in that area? All these things needs to be put into consideration before we start doing the extraction of anything, right? It will also help us and understand the evolving a planning structure endowed with appropriate technology. We will be needing the technology, correct? We will also need the skill, मतलब human resource, correct? And the institutional setup. एक सिंगल इंसान इस पूरे प्रोसेस को नहीं कर पाएगा. So there will be a group of people coming together. Again, you remember the triangle which we had done? So here it comes into the picture and all these things come together and we do the development. This is the repetition of the point which we were doing in the last slide. Apart from that, we will also have to understand that we need to match and map the resources of different regions in a country for the overall development of a nation. We cannot only look at developing a particular state. We all are a group. It's a group of states coming together to form a country. So we all have to take care of the national growth. Got that, children? Now, we all remember that India was free in 1947 and after the independence, there was a 5-year plan which was launched. Now, in that plan, we had made the concreted efforts for achieving the goal of resource planning. Now, what do you mean by this? This entire plan, this was the first plan which was developed after the independence. In that plan, there were points made for achieving the resource planning goals for the nation India. Right? Did you get this? Now, apart from this, we also need to understand that the availability of the resources is the necessary condition for the development of any region. Example, अगर हम राजस्थान में कनाल्स प्लान कर रहे हैं तो will it work? नहीं, पानी कहाँ से आएगा, right? So, किसी भी चीज़ को अच्छे से प्लान करने के लिए हमको ये देखना चाहिए कि वहाँ पे क्या अवेलेबल है और उसके क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस क्या है, राइट? इसीलिए हमको क्या करना था, सर्वे, करेक्ट? सो ये चीज को हमको ध्यान में रखना है, बट हमको ये भी देखना है कि उसी के साथ हमारे पास टेक्नोलॉजी है कि नहीं और इंस्टीट्यूशंस है कि नहीं. इंस्टीट्यूशंस मतलब क्या, ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल कमिंग टुगेदर फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर टास्क, राइट? यू कैन नॉट आस्क अ प्लम्बर टू design a building. So we will need skilled labor for a particular task. Now, example, जैसे हमने बोला अभी राजस्थान. So राजस्थान में सोलार अवेलेबल है. So we will try to implicate the solar things there because sunlight is available in abundance. Correct? Now there are many regions in our country that are rich in resources, but they include economically backward regions. Again, a very important concept, economically backward. That means they are not financially that great. For example, in cities like Mumbai, we have got different sectors where we are economically stable, we earn well, correct? But regions like Vidarbha, in skirts of southern India, eastern parts of India, you know, you go to the top north in smaller villages where people are not able to earn even to help themselves and their families. The standard of living their lives is quite low. So it becomes economically backward. So we also have to consider this thing. Now these regions like Chhattisgarh, these regions like Jharkhand, they all are economically backward. On the contrary, we have certain regions which have poor resources. अब वहाँ पे छत्तीसगढ़ और झारखंड में resources तो है, but economically वो पीछे हैं, right? उसके अलावा हमारे पास रीजन्स हैं जहां पे रिसोर्स बेस्ड नहीं है पर इकोनॉमिकली बहुत डेवलप्ड है, जैसे कि मुंबई में देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ डेवलपमेंट, इकोनॉमिकल डेवलपमेंट, राइट, बट जगह नहीं है, रिसोर्स नहीं है। ठीक है, सो नाउ लेट्स जस्ट मूव अहेड एंड ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड द हिस्ट्री ऑफ कोलोनाइजेशन। You remember we had the British ruling the India, right? So it's kind of related to that stuff. So the history of colonization reveals that the rich resources in colonies मतलब यहाँ पे समझ लो एक particular region. Let's use the word region here. ठीक है, एक particular region में हमारे पास बहुत अच्छे rich resources हैं। अब उन resources पे क्या होने वाला है? There's an eye of the foreign invaders, right? Foreign invaders मतलब बाहर के लोग, ठीक है। Now एग्जाम्पल अगर हम इसका ले लेते हैं तो आप समझ लीजिए कि सदर्न इंडिया में स्पाइसेस बहुत अच्छे से उगते हैं। Why? Because the climate there in the southern India supports the growth of the plants of spices. Now it is also understood that the primarily higher level of technological development of colonies help to exploit the resources of other regions. Example, अगर कोई एक अच्छा रीजन है जो इकोनॉमिकली डेवलप्ड है, राइट, उसके पास टेक्नोलॉजी भी है, ठीक है, तो वो क्या होगा, द बिगर फिश इज गोइंग टू ईट द स्मॉलर फिश, दैट रीजन इज गोइंग टू एक्सप्लॉइट द अदर रीजन्स. इट्स नॉर्मल, इजंट इट? सो इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट दैट द डेवलपमेंट is related to the technology and the institutional changes. That is, resources can contribute to the development only when they are accompanied by appropriate technology. अब यहाँ पे अगर आप देख रहे हो, ठीक है, it was primarily the higher level of technological development. Higher level of technological development of the colonizing countries has helped them to exploit the resources of other regions. मतलब दूसरे रीजन्स के रिसोर्सेस को एक्सप्लॉइट करना एक पर्टिकुलर रीजन ने शुरू कर दिया। कैसे कर सकते हैं वो? क्योंकि वो जो रीजन है जो एक्सप्लॉइट कर रहा है दैट इज डेवलप्ड टेक्नोलॉजिकली और उसके पास इंस्टीट्यूशंस भी हैं, इकोनॉमिकली भी वो उसको कर सकते हैं, करेक्ट? सो दैट्स वन पॉइंट. नाउ इंडिया हैज ऑल्सो एक्सपीरियंस दैट ऑल दिस in the different phases of the colonization, different regions. Phases means time lapse. ठीक है, ये एक एरा होता है, इस एरा में ऐसा, इस एरा में ऐसा. इंडिया एक बहुत ही बड़ा देश है, तो इंडिया ने ये सब चीजें अलग अलग टाइम पे एक्सपीरियंस की है. एक्सप्लॉयटेशन, एंड इंडिया इज वेरी फेमस फॉर दैट, करेक्ट? नाउ therefore in the country like India, development in general and resource development in particular, डेवलपमेंट मतलब हर तरीके का डेवलपमेंट, और हम बात कर रहे हैं स्पेशली रिसोर्स डेवलपमेंट की. इट इज नॉट ओनली गोइंग टू रन अराउंड द अवेलेबिलिटी, ओनली अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ रिसोर्सेज इज नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प. सो इट वी ऑल्सो नीड टेक्नोलॉजी, वी ऑल्सो नीड द क्वालिटी ऑफ ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज एंड द हिस्टोरिकल एक्सपीरियंसेस. देखो, रिसोर्सेज अवेलेबल तो होने वाला है अकॉर्डिंग टू द क्लाइमेट ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर रीजन, बट अगर हमारे पास उसको यूज करने के लिए टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं होगी, एक प्रॉपर मैन पावर नहीं होगा, और मैन पावर होने के बाद अगर उनको उस चीज का नॉलेज ही नहीं होगा, तो हाउ आर वी गोइंग टू यूटिलाइज दोज रिसोर्सेज? एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू आस्क मी टू गो एंड डू अ फार्मिंग ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर लैंड, I won't be able to do it because I have got no knowledge on how to do farming, isn't it? If you ask me to teach, I'll be able to teach you. So basically, again, the interdependent relationship of the resources comes into the picture, and only then, with all those things, we can plan the resources in a diverse country like India. Correct? Now, children, this is the entire gist of what we did. Just go through this slide. There's one more slide which you need to go through. I'll give you 10 seconds. All right. I hope you all have read this, children. Now, also go through this slide. This is a entire gist of the complex process of resource planning. Right. Superb. So, now let's move ahead. Let us understand how to do the conservation of resources. Now, what do you mean by conservation? उसको संभाल के रखना और अच्छी तरीके से यूज करना. Correct? Now again, it is a vital process. Vital means very important. Resources are vital, they are very important for the developmental activity. Development is a main source. हर बार हम डेवलपमेंट की ही बात करते हैं. Unless and until we don't develop ourselves and the nation, we will not be able to compete to the other nations in the world, right? But the irrational consumption, okay, and the overutilization of resources may lead to socio-economic and environmental problems. Irrational क्या होता है? क्या होता है irrational? Irrational मतलब हम किसी भी चीज का कंजम्पशन ठीक तरीके से नहीं कर रहे हैं. अगर मुझे 2 ही चपाती की भूख लगी है तो मुझे 2 ही चपाती खानी चाहिए, राइट? I should not eat everything which is available in the house, right? Or if I afford to eat everything and I keep eating, then the other family members will not be able to eat. The same example is here. It is the irrational consumption and overutilization. Again, the classes come into the picture, correct? Unequal distribution comes into the picture. The rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer. The same concept comes here, right? And this all problems is going to lead to the environmental problems. Environmental problems कैसे आ जाएंगे अभी इसमें? चलिए देखते हैं. Now, to overcome these problems, resource conservation at various levels is important. बहुत ही important है ना resources को conserve करना. कैसे करेंगे? This had been the main concern of the leaders and the thinkers in the past. Example, गांधी जी ने एक बहुत अच्छा quote दिया था, and the quote is, there is enough for everybody's need and not for anybody's greed. That means if I become greedy and if I start to take everything, everything in respect to food, in respect to land, right? तो मेरे पास तो बहुत कुछ आ जाएगा. अगर मैंने एज अ पर्सन बहुत कुछ ले लिया तो जो दूसरे लोगों की जरूरत थी वो मैंने छीन ली. आई हैव टेकन ऑल दोज थिंग्स. अगेन द सेम कॉन्सेप्ट, रिच बिकमिंग रिचर, पुअर बिकमिंग पुअरर. Always try to correlate everything so that you understand well. Correct? So that's what Gandhiji said. Now, he had placed the greedy and selfish individuals and exploitative nature of modern technology as the root cause for resource depletion at the global level. ये वही उन्होंने बोला था कि जो greedy लोग हैं, जो individuals, जो institutions greedy हैं, वो हर एक चीज को अपना लेते हैं. और जो दूसरा कम्युनिटी है, दूसरा कास्ट है, या मे बी अ डिफरेंट ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल आर नॉट एबल टू सेटिस्फाई देयर नीड्स. एंड व्हाई आर दे नॉट एबल टू सेटिस्फाई? बिकॉज अवर ग्रेट ग्रीडी पीपल हैव टेकन ऑल ऑफ इट, राइट? द शेयर हैज बीन लूटेड, टू बी वेरी स्पेसिफिक. गांधी जी वॉज अगेंस्ट द मास प्रोडक्शन. ही वॉज अगेंस्ट द मास प्रोडक्शन. But he wanted to replace the production by masses. Now, try to understand this statement. Mass production मतलब क्या होता है? एक मशीन लगा दिया, ठीक है, 100 इंसान का काम एक मशीन कर लेगी, वो हो गया मास प्रोडक्शन. एंड प्रोडक्शन बाय मासेस इज कुछ जन मिलके कोई एक प्रोडक्ट बनाते हैं. स्वदेशी, मेकिंग ऑफ sarees through the olden machines like this chakras, right? This is a yarn making machine. कॉटन से धागा ऐसे निकलता है. दिस इज अ वीविंग मशीन. इस तरीके से चादर हैं, या यू कैन से साड़ीज हैं. वी स्टिल हैव दो साड़ीज इन महाराष्ट्र. वी हैव पैठनी एंड ऑल मेड इन दिस वे इन द एरियाज ऑफ परभणी एंड औरंगाबाद, इफ यू ऑल नो, इजंट इट? सो दिस इज द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ मासेस. सो गांधी जी क्या बोलते थे? मास प्रोडक्शन मत करो. मास प्रोडक्शन करने से क्या होगा? जो ह्यूमन रिसोर्स है वो अनएम्प्लॉयड हो जाएगा. पर अगर प्रोडक्शन ऑफ मासेस करेंगे तो 2 चीजें होंगी. पहली चीज क्या? जो मासेस हैं, जो ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज हैं, जो स्किल्ड लेबरर्स हैं, दे कैन अर्न मनी एंड दे कैन बी अ पार्ट ऑफ द national development. Isn't it? If the people are happy, the nation is happy. If the people grows, the nation is going to grow automatically. Right? Now, let's go to the land resources, children. Now, we live on land and we perform all our economic activities on the land, and we use it in a very different way. The way I use my land is different and the way you use your land is different. Basically, let's say if I am a farmer, right? I'm going to farm my land. If I am a person who is involved in the poultry, So I'm going to use my land in another way. We need to understand that. Now thus the land is a very natural and at most important resource. It supports natural vegetation and wildlife, we all know that. It supports the human life, it supports the economic activities and the transport and the communication systems, we all know that. Correct? The land routes. However, this land as an asset of a finite magnitude, and therefore it is important that the availability of the land is used with a very careful planning. अगर हमने हमारा जो लैंड है उसको अच्छे से प्लान करके यूज नहीं किया तो क्या होगा? It will become a porridge. We will not understand that which land is used for what. Every time whenever you are using any resource, we need to understand that where and how we will use it and what qualities and quantity it is available. Correct? If the land is good for farming, we cannot develop infrastructure there. Right? A land which is barren, which cannot cultivate crops, can be used as infrastructural developed land. You get this difference, children? Now, let's go ahead. In India, we have variety of land. Correct? Because we have got such a big region. Everywhere the climate is different. The availability of the resources is different. So, the land is going to be different. Let's go into detail. Try and understand that these sections here in India are mountainous. Correct? We have mountains there. Right? We have rivers which flow, and it is a very important part of our tourism and the ecological aspect. Ecological, obviously, the entire ecological balance we are talking about. Apart from that, here in the center, we have plateau. Right? We all know what are plateaus. Now, plateaus are good for finding minerals and fossil fuels and forests. Vegetation अच्छा होता है यहाँ पे. ठीक है? Now, we also have plains. Now, these all plains are used for cultivation, मतलब agriculture. The rivers are flowing, the water is good, right? When the river flows, it carries soil from one region to another. The rivers flows from here, from Himalayan region. When the rivers are flowing, it is flowing through the plains. So it is going to carry nice mineral soil from the higher region and it's going to deposit here on different regions. Correct? The water is in abundance. The land are plain. What do you mean by plain? Correct? They are plain. So it becomes easy for us to do the farming using different technologies. बड़ी जगह है तो ट्रैक्टर वगैरह लगा दिए तो अच्छे से फार्मिंग हो जाएगी. Right? Let us see the percentage. We have 30% of the entire land in India as mountains. We have 27% as plateau and 43% as plain. Got this, children? Now, let us understand that these land resources, so basically we are talking about mountains, we are talking about plateaus and plains. These all resources are used for different purposes, and let's see what are those. First is the forest. We already have forests, right? Now we all know how the forests can be developed. That's a huge another story. Another part is the land is not available for cultivation. Desert में हम cultivate नहीं कर सकते हैं. So that land is not available for cultivation. We have another uncultivated land. Example, humans cannot reach that land, or maybe that land is under some dispute, or maybe the quality of the land there is not good, and so and so. We also have the fallow lands. Again, the land which we don't use for cultivation for a certain period of time. Let us understand that it can be between 1 year to 5 years. We also have the net sown area, correct? We all know about that. Now, let us understand that these all are forests. यहाँ पे we cannot cut the trees and start planting. It is going to disturb the ecological balance, right? Now, these lands are not available for cultivation. Rocky lands, correct? There is no soil here. They are barren and the wastelands. Now, these lands are also not available for cultivation. These are infrastructurally developed lands. यहाँ पे कहाँ farming करेंगे हम? We cannot do that, right? Now, we also have other lands such as pasture lands, right? They are only for grazing for the animals, right? Now, we also have lands which includes the net sown area. Now, these all are like bamboo jungles. यहाँ पे भी you can't do farming, correct? Now, we also have cultivable wasteland, and it's like, you remember I told you, from 1 to 5 years, if we don't do the cultivation in a particular land, there are many reasons for it. We will look into detail later. We also have the fallow lands, correct? Again, which is not used for cultivation for 1 to 5 years because of many reasons. Maybe the crop shifting, or maybe because the soil on that land has been used for many times and it doesn't have lot of manure and minerals in that soil, and a crop cannot be cultivated in that. So in that case, the farmers leave that land barren for a year or maybe for 5 years so that the soil gets regenerated. Okay? Now it's about the net sown areas, it's about the crops. How much quantity of crops can be sown? Now what's that? Let's say we have a piece of land, a square piece of land, and the area sown more than once in an agricultural year, plus the net sown area, is known as the gross cropped area. Now let us understand this in detail. एक square land ले लेते हैं, ठीक है? It's a very simple thing. We have a square land and we grow crops. At times on the same land there are 3 crops which are cultivated in a year. This is called crop rotation, right? So now how do you calculate कि इस लैंड में से कितना हमको रेवेन्यू या क्रॉप्स जनरेट हुआ? तो ये जो 3 हमने चीजें सो की हैं, उन सबका एंटायर व्हेन वी पुट इट टुगेदर, इट बिकम्स द नेट एंड द ग्रॉस. क्लियर? ओके, नाउ गो थ्रू दिस स्लाइड, रीड इट क्लियरली so that you understand everything. Great children, I hope you all have read this. Now let's continue. Now let us understand how the land can be used in a particular manner. So it is about the land use pattern in India. India में हम किस तरीके से हमारी जो land है उसको हम अलग अलग तरीकों से कैसे use कर सकते हैं. So basically the usage of the land depends on 2 major factors. It is a physical factor, and this physical factor also includes the topography. Topography means the different types of lands, the mountainous region, the plateau and the plains, which we have already seen. Now it also includes, the physical factor also includes the type of soil. ठीक है? Soil की quality, what kind of minerals are there in that particular soil. Also the climate of a particular area will be considered as the physical factor. Now physical factor is the first factor. The second factor is the human factor. Now as well as the human factors such as the population density. Population density मतलब उस particular area में कितने लोग रहते हैं. Alright, the technological capability. Technologically, that means, is the technology available for a particular task? And the culture and the traditions also play a very important role. क्या particular काम करना culture हाँ बोल रहा है या नहीं बोल रहा है? Does that fall under the proper category of the culture? ठीक है? So basically use of land किससे determined होता है? Physical factors से होता है. Physical factors में क्या क्या है देख लेते हैं. Topography, ठीक है? Mountain, plateau, plain. Climate भी physical में आ गया, ठीक है? Now certain areas, now here there is a mistake. So one is the mild and another is the extreme. So climate में कैसे है कि राजस्थान has the extreme climate, ठीक है? Westerly winds बहुत है, धूप बहुत है. It's a deserted area. It has got extreme climate. तो वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा crop cultivation नहीं होता है. But on the contrary, Punjab has got a very nice mild climate. The crop cultivation there in Punjab and Haryana is much more better than compared to the state of Rajasthan. So ये सब हो गया हमारा physical. Now उसमें soil के types भी आ गए, water content आ गया, mineral content आ गया, ठीक है? So that is all your soil types. Now Depending on the soil, climate and the topography, different types of crops are cultivated in that particular region. उसके साथ हम ह्यूमन फैक्टर्स का ध्यान रखते हैं. ह्यूमन फैक्टर्स मतलब लैंड को कल्टिवेट करने के लिए ह्यूमन पावर एंड ह्यूमन रिसोर्स की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी. तो कैसा है, पॉपुलेशन कितना है, ठीक है, वो भी एक बहुत बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करता है, राइट. सो द पॉपुलेशन इन द वेस्ट बंगाल इज लो, density of the population is high in West Bengal and low in Arunachal Pradesh. According to the economic activities, everything is going to be very different. How the entire process is going to go, right? Economically also makes a lot of difference. Now, the other factors such as technologically accessible, you remember, whether any resources we can use technologically, the main definition of the resources. So the capacity or the capability of using a particular technology for a task also plays a very important role. Again, the cultures and the traditions, right? Now let us understand that India is a huge nation, ठीक है. So 3.28 million square kilometer is the entire geographical area, land का, border to border. However, 93% only of the total area is being surveyed and calculated because Assam and Jammu and Kashmir, few areas here and there are not being surveyed due to some or the other reasons. Alright, now we need to understand that the land under the permanent pasture has also decreased. What do you mean by permanent pastures? एक ज़मीन का टुकड़ा है, let's say a plateau region, a particular part of the plateau region is only used for the grazing, ठीक है, ग्रेजिंग वगैरह के लिए, तो वो परमानेंट है वहां पे, तो उसका भी क्वालिटी हमारा डिक्रीज हो गया है. द साइज ऑफ द ग्रेजिंग लैंड एंड द पैस्चर लैंड इज ऑल्सो गेटिंग डिक्रीज्ड, ठीक है. नाउ मोस्ट ऑफ द अदर देन द करंट फैलो लैंड्स. नाउ व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय मोस्ट ऑफ द अदर? जितने फैलो लैंड्स हैं वो और उसको छोड़ के भी दूसरे जो फैलो लैंड्स हैं, ये सारे सबकी क्वालिटी पे थोड़ा सा इफेक्ट हो गया है, ठीक है. बहुत सारे रीजंस है उसको इफेक्ट होने के लिए, ठीक है. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, अगर मुझे वहां पे कोई कल्टीवेशन करना है, अब वो लैंड की क्वालिटी इतनी डिग्रेड हो गई है कि उसमें सॉइल डलवाना, मिनरल्स वाले, ठीक है, पानी प्रोवाइड करना या एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा चीजें, बेसिकली वो लैंड में कल्टीवेशन करने का कॉस्ट बढ़ जाता है. व्हेन द कॉस्ट इज इंक्रीज्ड, द यूज ऑफ द रिसोर्स becomes invalid, right? So those lands are not cultivated again and again, ठीक है. उसका कल्टीवेशन का जो टाइमिंग है वो कम हो जाता है, 2 से 3 साल में उसको 1 या 2 बार कल्टीवेट किया जाता है, जहां पे जो अच्छे लैंड्स हैं उसको साल में 3 बार कल्टीवेशन के लिए यूज करते हैं, राइट. सो द डिफरेंस इन द क्रॉप विच अ पर्टिकुलर लैंड गिव्स, right, it becomes less and less, right. Now the pattern of the net sown areas varies greatly from one state to another. अब ये क्या चीज है नेट सोन एरिया, ठीक है. एक चीज ये समझ लेनी है कि कोई भी एक जमीन का टुकड़ा ले लो, लेट्स से एनी रेक्टेंगुलर लैंड, फ्रॉम दैट लैंड वी गेट डिफरेंट क्रॉप्स, ठीक है. अगर उस लैंड को मैंने 3 बार कल्टीवेट किया तो मुझे 3 बार उसका क्रॉप मिला. Let's say 2 into 2 into 2, so I get 6. There's one piece of land which does not give me 3 times, it gives me only 1 time, so it is only 2, let's say. So how do I calculate that the sown area, the net sown area, the outcome, ये लैंड का कम है, इस लैंड का ज्यादा है. So in India, states like पंजाब एंड हरियाणा, 80% से ज्यादा एरिया वहां पे अच्छे से कल्टीवेशन के अंदर यूज होता है. सो ऑब्वियसली द नेट सोन एरिया इज हायर, बट व्हेन यू कंपेयर टू अरुणाचल प्रदेश, मिजोरम, मणिपुर एंड अंडमान निकोबार आइलैंड्स हियर इन द ईस्ट एंड हियर डाउन, द नेट सोन एरिया इज लेस देन 10%. लैंड क्वालिटी प्रॉब्लम्स, पानी वहां से बहुत जा रहा है, तो वो भी एक बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है कि लैंड में क्वालिटी नहीं है, राइट. पॉपुलेशन नहीं है, टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है, बहुत सारी रीजंस की वजह से द नेट सोन एरिया हैज कम डाउन, राइट. उसके अलावा इफ यू चेक आउट द फॉरेस्ट एरिया इन द कंट्री, According to the National Forest Policy, 33% of the geographical area of a particular nation should be under forest area. But हमारे पास उससे थोड़ा सा कम है, right? So, अगर ये फॉरेस्ट एरिया कम होता है तो इकोलॉजिकल बैलेंस में थोड़ा सा फर्क पड़ जाता है, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग जैसी चीजें बाहर आती हैं, राइट? नाउ द लाइवलीहुड ऑफ मिलियंस ऑफ पीपल हु लिव ऑन द फ्रिंजेस ऑफ दीज फॉरेस्ट्स डिपेंड ऑन इट. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय फ्रिंजेस? इन एंड अराउंड द फॉरेस्ट एरिया. ठीक है, वहां पे जितने भी लोग रहते हैं फॉरेस्ट एरिया के आसपास, उनका जो लाइवलीहुड है वो उसी फॉरेस्ट एरिया पे डिपेंड करता है. वुड कटिंग मतलब फ्यूल मिल जाता है, वहाँ पे जो जड़ी बूटियाँ उगती है, स्पाइसेस हैं, छोटी छोटी बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं, वो सारी चीज़ों को बेच के या पॉलिश करके ही वो अपना लाइवलीहुड अर्न करते हैं. गॉट इट? नाउ go through this slide. It will help you to understand what did we learn in the past slides. I'll give you only 10 seconds, children. Okay, superb. I hope you all have read this. Now let's go ahead. Try to finish this slide. Right. Now let us also understand what do you mean by wasteland. ठीक है? A part of the land can be termed as wasteland and the land put to other non-agricultural uses. लेट्स से हमने ग्रेजिंग लैंड में डाल दिया है, नहीं ग्रेजिंग तो नहीं बोल सकते हैं, बट द बैरन लैंड्स विच आर देयर, ऑल दीज लैंड्स कम अंडर वेस्ट लैंड्स. जैसे कि रॉकी हो गया, एरिड हो गया, डेजर्ट हो गया. सो दिस इज एग्जाम्पल ऑफ योर रॉकी लैंड. द रिवर इज फ्लोइंग एंड देयर आर लॉट ऑफ रॉक्स. ऑब्वियसली रॉक्स है तो सॉइल नहीं है, सॉइल नहीं है तो कल्टिवेशन नहीं है, राइट? दिस इज एरिड लैंड. धरती सूख गई है, द वॉटर इज नॉट प्रेजेंट हियर इन दिस लैंड. जैसे हम बोलते हैं अकाल पड़ गया है, पानी नहीं है, बारिश नहीं है, इरिगेशन की फैसिलिटीज नहीं है. द सॉइल डजंट हैव मॉइस्चर एंड द प्लांट, एनी क्रॉप नीड्स वाटर, सॉइल एंड द क्लाइमेट टू ग्रो, राइट? सो दीज लैंड्स अगेन गो इनटू द वेस्टलैंड. डेजर्ट है, ऑब्वियसली इन द डेजर्ट ऑल्सो ग्रोइंग ऑफ क्रॉप्स इज नॉट पॉसिबल, करेक्ट? एंड वी ऑल्सो हैव द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चरली developed lands, that is the human settlements, right? Roads also is a part of the human settlements. We have railways. Railway lines पे थोड़ी हम पेड़ उगा सकते हैं, we cannot do that, right? So those lands cannot be used as your cultivated lands. Again we have the industries. Here also there's nothing where which we can put to agricultural use, right? Now continuous use of the land over a period of time. जैसे हमने उस पे फार्मिंग हम करते ही गए, क्रॉप्स चेंज करते ही गए, राइट? सो द क्वालिटी ऑफ द लैंड गेट्स डिग्रेडेड. सॉइल को भी थोड़ा सा पैम्परिंग लगता है, राइट? सॉइल को फॉर्म होने में भी टाइम लगता है. इवन टू फॉर्म 1 inch ऑफ सॉइल इट टेक्स years टू रीजनरेट, राइट? बट वी ह्यूमंस आर वेरी सेल्फिश, or maybe because of needs we have to be selfish, so we keep sowing the crops in that particular land. पानी भी हम उतना ही प्रोवाइड करते हैं जितना जरूरत है, करेक्ट? So there are lot many things which leads to the land degradation. In turn, what has happened is the environment and the society is getting affected. थोड़े समय के लिए हमने उस लैंड को घड़ी घड़ी कल्टीवेट करते गए 5-6 साल तक हमारा काम चल गया. Suddenly after 6 to 7 years that the land is completely degraded. Now it is becoming of no use. So who is at a loss? Obviously the society is at a loss. Basically वो land क्या हो गया? अब कुछ सालों के लिए waste हो गया. ठीक है? Now the deterioration in the quality of the land due to natural or human factors is called as a land degradation. Natural factors तो बहुत सारे हैं, ठीक है? सनलाइट की वजह से, पानी की अनअवेलेबिलिटी की वजह से लैंड एरिड हो गई तो वेस्ट हो गया. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट ह्यूमन फैक्टर्स आप बोल दो, लैंड को ओवर एक्सप्लॉइट कर दिया हमने या हमने इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कर दिया तो वो लैंड हमारा डिग्रेड हो जाता है इसके लिए, फॉर द फार्मिंग, फॉर द एग्रीकल्चरल पर्पस. ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज हैव नॉट ओनली ब्रॉट अबाउट डिग्रेडेशन ऑफ लैंड बट ऑल्सो हैव aggravated the pace of natural forces to cause the damage to the land. Now what do you mean by this? Basically it only says that we are pushing the natural sources to destroy the natural resources, right? We are giving a way, we are giving a path to the natural environment to degrade the resources which are available. At present, we have approximately 130 million hectares of degraded land in India. Just imagine, so much of huge amount of land which is already degraded, और उसको हम अपग्रेड करने के लिए शायद ही कोई कोशिश करते हैं. Approximately 28% of it belongs to the category of forest degraded area. Children, have you tried to plant or sow a seed which turns into a plant? It takes years. It takes years to generate or to form a particular plant. But हम humans क्या करते हैं? Just for our use, we just deforest it, right? Now imagine how many years will it take for that area to get converted into forest? Years and years, God knows how many. So 56% of the land is water eroded. What do you mean by water eroded? जो लैंड है वो पानी के बहाव से बह जाती है. That is water erosion. Now water erosion is because lot of water from the rivers is flowing, right? And what causes lot of water to flow directly and what causes our land to get eroded is nothing. We all know. We all keep plucking up the plants. We all know the problems of the marshy areas and the river entering the land, right? We all know all those reasons. So because of all this, the water is taking away our land. जो थोड़ा बहुत लैंड बच गया है वो सेलाइन और अल्कलाइन के डिपॉजिट से इफेक्ट हो गया है. अब ये कैसे होता है? इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोसेस. लेट अस ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट द ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज, ठीक है, जैसे डिफॉरेस्टेशन है, ओवर ग्रेजिंग है, माइनिंग है, क्वारिंग है, इसके एग्जाम्पल्स देख लेते हैं. डिफॉरेस्टेशन मीन्स कटिंग अप द ट्रीज इन द फॉरेस्ट. ओवर ग्रेजिंग मीन्स अलाउिंग आर एनिमल्स to keep eating the grass which is grown on a particular land, right? Mining, we all know, extraction of minerals and fossil fuels. We also have quarrying. Mountains वगैरह का तोड़ के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बना लेते हैं, रोड्स बना लेते हैं, रेलवेज बना लेते हैं, ये सब आ जाता है. और माइनिंग एक बार हो जाती है उस पर्टिकुलर जगह से, then that land is just left barren, right? So basically it again becomes into a wasteland. Now states like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, due to mining have caused lot and lot of land degradation. This entire area I am talking about, right, which is very rich in the minerals and fuels. You all remember in the starting of this lecture we were discussing this, correct? Apart from that, if you see that these states like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra, यहाँ पर, ठीक है, यहाँ पे ओवर ग्रेजिंग की वजह से लैंड को डिग्रेड कर दिया है. सो लैंड तो दोनों ही जगह की डिग्रेड हुई है, बट हुआ क्या है? द रीजंस ऑफ द डिग्रेडेशन ऑफ द लैंड इज डिफरेंट. सो इन द स्टेट्स लाइक पंजाब, हरियाणा एंड वेस्टर्न उत्तर प्रदेश, ओवर इरिगेशन इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल. अगेन लैंड डिग्रेड हो गया है, ठीक है, बट क्या हो गया है? ओवर इरिगेशन की वजह से, राइट? वहां पे थोड़ा पानी की कमी होगी तो क्या होता है? वी स्टार्ट इरिगेटिंग. व्हाट इज इरिगेशन? टू मेक द वाटर रीच टू अ पर्टिकुलर डेस्टिनेशन बाय ह्यूमंस इज कॉल्ड इरिगेशन. तो उसके वजह से वहां पे भी लैंड डिग्रेड हो गया है. नाउ वहां पे क्या हुआ है? सैलिनिटी एंड अल्कलिनिटी इन द सॉइल इज इंक्रीज. बेसिकली इट इज अबाउट द सॉल्ट कंटेंट ऑफ द सॉइल. अब सॉल्ट कंटेंट, यू रिमेंबर आई टोल्ड यू, लेट अस सी इन डिटेल. हियर वी कैन सी दैट इन डिटेल. Salinity कैसे इंक्रीज हो जाएगा? Water is supplied to the field by irrigation, canals and all. Humans build lot of canals, you all remember that, from the dams and everything. So the water is supplied through irrigation. तो इस land पे we have got a lot of water. Once the water is here, it starts percolating into the ground. Now under this ground there is a lot of water. पानी भर जाता है, correct? Now once that water is here and the soil becomes saturated with water. बहुत सारा पानी है फील्ड में. यहाँ पे देख रहे हो, there's a lot of water in the field. Correct? This is one of the methods for sugarcane cultivation, paddy fields. Rice needs a lot of water, right? Now, but this water in the land, it is called as water logging. ठीक है? अब क्या होता है, पानी तो हमने यहाँ पे एक अलग तरीके से यहाँ पर हम लेके आए हैं थ्रू इरिगेशन. द वाटर हैज अ सॉल्ट कॉन्टेंट इन इट. थोड़ा नमक होता है उस पानी में. जो नमक होता है वो पानी के साथ सॉइल में चला जाता है, राइट. सो नाउ द सॉइल हैज अ सॉल्टी वाटर. ठीक है. नाउ ऑब्वियसली ड्यूरिंग द डे द सन इज बिकमिंग वेरी ब्राइट एंड द sky is clear, the temperature is really high, water starts evaporating. And when the water starts evaporating, all the water which was percolated into the ground starts coming up to the ground level. Once it starts evaporating, what happens is water goes up, it evaporates, but the salt doesn't evaporate. The salt and the alkaline stuff is left behind. Basically what happens is the land becomes waste, isn't it? The land becomes degraded, the quality of the land comes down and it becomes difficult for cultivating different crops. Got it? Let's go ahead and understand then the processes like mining, grinding of limestones from the cement industry. We all know how the cement is formed, isn't it, children? Lot of different stuff from the nature is grinded together and a concrete material like cement is being created by humans, which we use for the infrastructural development. When we are doing that, right, a lot of dust is released in the atmosphere. Obviously the dust is not going to stay there, it's going to flow away with the wind, isn't it? It's going to get deposited on the land which is nearby. Nearby doesn't mean 1 kilometer or 2 kilometer. Nearby means like 1 villages, 2 villages, 3 villages all around, isn't it? So the quality of the land in those villages near that area where these industries are there, lands get degraded, isn't it? Again, the problems of all your respiratory diseases also come into being. Now, it is also because of the infiltration of water into the soil which settles down on land. Again, the human activities, polluting water, polluting land comes into the picture, isn't it? Industrial waste, correct, in the land and in the water. It affects the water to get degraded, the rivers are soiled, and the land to get degraded, the land becomes barren, correct. Now, how do we check on these land degradation? ठीक है, let's see that. पहले तो afforestation कर लेना है. Afforestation means what? Deforestation का opposite. Deforestation में we cut, afforestation में we grow. So nowadays, isn't it? People are saying at least one person should grow 10 trees. So let's do and let's take an initiative for that. We can also plant shelter belts of plants. This is one of a very beautiful technique understood by humans to save the land. इसमें क्या किया है? See, if you can see this, now here there are some plants which are grown in a particular manner, in a line. What happens is when the wind is flowing, it helps the soil not to go away with the wind. It helps the soil erosion, not because of water but because of the wind. थोड़ा सा wind वगैरह आता है तो यहीं पे जमा हो जाता है. Then everything can be settled. ठीक है? So this is one of the techniques. Apart from that, we also have to control the overgrazing. Don't let your animals go and graze a particular land again and again for a long time. We need to have a control over it, right? We also can afforest the things so that the overgrazing can be controlled by planting more plants. Stabilization of sand dunes by growing thorny bushes. Now what do you mean by this? We all know how the sand dunes are formed. When the wind blows, right, the sand in the desert also blows along with the wind, right, and the dunes are formed. So what happens is this can be stopped, right? How can we stop? The way we were doing the planting of shelter belts, the way we were planting the shelter belts there in the agriculture farm, here we can plant the sand thorny bushes. Now why thorny bushes? Because only they can grow in the desert, right? These thorny bushes in return helps the sand to accommodate there itself in that belt. So the wind will not take away all the sand and increase the desert area. Desert बढ़ते 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 आगे तक आ जाता है because of the wind, right? So this can help us to control the land degradation. ज़्यादा sand उड़ के साइड में चला गया, बाहर आ गया, तो क्या होगा? लैंड डिग्रेड होते जाएगा, तो ज़्यादा अमाउंट ऑफ लैंड डिग्रेड हो जाएगा. सो वी नीड टू टेक केयर ऑफ इट. How do we reduce the land and the water degradation in the industrial and the suburban area? This all is common sense, children. First of all, how we should not pollute the land and water comes into the picture. How we will be doing the proper management of the wastelands. ध्यान रखना है हमको कि हमको हमारा कोई भी जो ये है वेस्ट है वो सब लैंड्स में नहीं डालना चाहिए. इरिगेशन ध्यान रखना चाहिए. वी विल ऑल्सो डेवलप द फॉरेस्ट, isn't it? We will also control the mining activities. जितनी ज़रूरत है कम से कम माइनिंग करो और लैंड को डिग्रेड होने से बचाओ, right? We can also use the technique of proper disposal of any waste in water or on land, right? Read this slide, children, and you will be going through the entire slide and you will understand everything. I'll give you 10 seconds. Okay, great, children. Now we come to the end of the lecture 2. I'll be coming up with my lecture 3 in a few days. Till that time, subscribe to my channel and please click on the like button. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.